It's 10-minute tangle time. So I'm going to start a series where we're going to do 10 minutes of tangles. So this one starts out with, we start with gratitude. We breathe in the things we're grateful for. We exhale all the garbage. And then we inked a border. Now we're putting our little ladybugs in, which are half of an orb, filling them in. And what I'm doing right now is called aura-ing. So I'm putting an aura around each of these ladybugs, just like the aura field around your body. And so at first I did it around each one, and then I decided to connect them and have them be a continuous aura all the way around. And then that gave it a much different look. So when I go into these, I did this live. I never know what I'm going to do, and I usually let the followers that are watching decide what we do next. So this is what they decided in the beginning. So we started with that. Then we decided that we were going to make sure that we weren't biting the inside of the cheek, clenching the jaw, that we weren't holding the pen too tightly or pushing down too hard on the pen. Now, you could do a whole page of just this, and I recommend to people when they go to tangle, maybe because they're having a bad day or they're having a high stress level, I do recommend that you take one tangle and just do a whole page of that one tangle. You can do it on scrap paper in the car. I recommend people keep envelopes from bills or things that come in the mail. They're a great thing to tangle on. I also recommend tangling on recycling. So if there's a cereal box in the recycling bin, open it up and tangle on the inside of it. Now this is a tangle called Muka. This is one of the tangles that took me, I think this might have been the tangle that took me the longest to be able to make it the way I wanted it to look. Because that's the point of tangling. I teach you the basic way to do it as a certified Zentangle teacher. And my focus for my teaching is to stay in gratitude and to turn this into a meditation, to repeat the same thing over and over again. Because I find when you're in meditation that you can't think of anything else. So if you've had, let's say, not the greatest day or didn't get the greatest news, and you start tangling something that's repetitive and you don't have to think about it, you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again, I find that my mind can't think of anything else. So what I did with this was I took Muka and then I'm auraing off of Muka. So you're seeing a lot of what aura is. And it's just like the energy field, like I said earlier, around your body. Only we're doing it with the tangles. I do have tangle tutorials. If you go to the top of my profile page where my pinned videos are, I have playlists. If you scroll all the way to the left, I have tons of videos that are tangle tutorials. I do request that you don't go through and save all of them without watching them because that wrecks my algorithm. So if you watch a few, watch them till the end and then save them. That would be great. So now I'm doing what's called printemps, which means spring in French, and it's a spiral type tangle. And I'm going to do a couple of these, and then what I end up doing is dividing the paper around them into sections, because what I'm going to do is do the tangle senna, but I'm going to do senna in a more uniform kind of way. Normally I do senna very whimsical and but this time I thought it would look pretty cool if it was almost as though senna was rounding up and over. So the printemps was a little bit lower and the senna would have to come out of it and attach to wherever it's going to. Throughout the whole tangle process, no matter what I'm tangling, no matter what the reason is, it's always for me about the journey to the end of the tangle, and the tangle is a bonus at the end. Meaning, this is about self-care for me. And the reason, as a full-time nurse, I've also been a full-time content creator. The reason I've been doing this 7 to 10 times a week for 2 years is to have people have this as a tool in their toolbox This does not take the place of medical care or treatment, but it's a tool you can have in your toolbox. And for the longest time on my lives, I was using pens from my junk drawer and envelopes, whatever scrap paper I could get my hands on. And that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be grab whatever pen, paper, pencil you can. When I couldn't afford tortillones, I used my finger, which actually is my favorite blending tool, or maybe a Q-tip. Be creative. But it's the journey to the end of the tangle. Are you working at not holding your breath? Are you relaxing your jaw? Are you relaxing how you hold the pen? Those are the things that the more you focus on those and address those, your tangle will look different because your lines will start to be straighter than they've ever been. But when you go in with full ego and your ego is saying we are only going to allow straight lines and we are only going to allow tangles that are uniform, and it loses its creativeness. So for tangling, I really like my ego put aside so that my creativity can flow and that I enjoy it. Now, this is a mix of several tangles. So this is jonquil. We've done senna, printemps, crescent moon. And inside of the jonquil, I'm going to, right now what I'm doing is called yin cut. And I have tutorials of all of these that you can look in my playlist tutorial. But in 10 minutes, I wanted to show you how I could get all of this drawn. Now to shade it would take longer than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes I could get this drawn. Or what I do recommend for those of you who are saying, I couldn't do this in 10 minutes. Number one, never say I can't. Number two, I would take one or two of these tangles and set a timer for 10 minutes and see how, I think you'll be surprised once you get really into a flow with tangling, it just goes. Now, I started this during COVID when, as a nurse, things were so stressful. People couldn't go anywhere. This is why I started going live on TikTok. I have had people come in and watch my lives for a very long time and then start doing it on TikTok, which that's not my intention in teaching this. My intention in teaching this isn't for people to open their own TikTok and do it. My intention is for people to have, again, a tool in their toolbox, something that they can use that can help them for whatever it is they need at the time, whether it's stress relief, whether it's anxiety relief, grief. I started this, I became a certified Zentangle teacher because my mother had just died at 63 and my father was just diagnosed with cancer and ended up dying a few years later in 2020 at age 63. So I lost both parents in a short amount of time. And this was great for my grief because when I do this, tangle, I can't think of anything else. My mind just gets a break and I love it. Now, this is the Grab You watercolor set, and it's metallic. I was actually going to put it on this, and then I decided not to, but I still want to show you the metallic colors again. This is the 40 count metallic set, and the other set that you could see in the background is the 100 count regular set, and I'll attach those in the TikTok shop with the brushes that I recommend. Now, since I started going live years ago, I have had people who came in and watched me for a very long time and then opened their own TikTok doing exactly what I do. That's not why I do this. I do this for people to not have to pay for a class. I do this for people to have a way to get through whatever they need to get through. In fact, one of these people, their thing on their TikTok says, breathe, just breathe. Well, I started that. So this is just a reminder that sometimes people aren't who you think they are. And we just have to let that go and move on. And that's what I'm going to do. All my links are in my link tree. And recently I did post a 2-hour paid class that you can watch on YouTube. And the link to my YouTube is in my link tree. Have a great day.